Okay, so time management. So you guys can all see the screen. It says time management and organization. So as we addressed in, okay, who's the singer? It must be. Okay, I got you muted here, buddy. All right. So as it addressed in chapters 1 through 3 in the Solar book, balancing your time and how you spend it on rock, pebble, and water priorities are key to making good grades. So who can tell me what the rock priorities are?
Like major priorities like school or chores.
Right, things that you have to do. If you don't do, you're going to get in trouble. What's a pebble priority, Aiden?
Something you enjoy, like playing video games.
Right, or like, hiking or going outside. And then what are the water things, Ben?
Something that you would like to do that you can't.
Right, so may not necessarily be able to do if you have enough time, but those kind of things. All right, so the most important tool that you can use in managing your time is a planner or a written agenda or an electronic calendar like Google Calendar program. And so I'm going to go over that with you some more today. And if you have ever forgotten one assignment or a test, then you need to have an academic planner. Who's forgotten when you had an assignment that you were supposed to do? Definitely me. I have forgotten. So yeah, so we all should use a planner. And I actually, this is my planner that I use all the time. This is looking at December because I have stuff in there, but I have a month plan and then a weekly plan. I keep that for all my personal stuff. And then this is all of our school stuff. So I am definitely a planner. And so the highlights on this were things that I needed to do on Sunday night that I needed to do before tomorrow. Because I try to make a plan on the weekend for what I have to do that week. So here's some tips for using a written planner. The assignment is due when? Tomorrow? Okay, when we've all been there at some point. Somehow the assignment due date just slipped right up on us without our even noticing. That's why organizational skills are so important to school performance. You can afford to score a big fat 0 on a paper, because when you get a 0, you guys, it is a negative in your account. It takes a long time to recover from that. Just because we got lazy and didn't pay attention to the due date. Who wants to get an F because you forgot to put in a completed project in your book bag the night before? How many of you guys have done stuff and left it at home, and so then you don't get it turned in? So these are some things that, even though we're distance ed right now, we're going to talk about things that help us when we come back to regular school, hopefully soon, okay? So poor organization skills reduce your final scores by a whole letter grade. You will drop. That's why you should learn to use a planner right away. So pick the right planner. You got to figure out what works for you. Some of you probably doing it on the computer is a great thing. Others need to write it down. I do both because I'm just a planner person. Avoid planners that have a bunch of extra stuff on them. It just gets in the way, like diaries that lock and stuff like that. You don't do that. Make a planner part of your daily routine. I literally write down my to-do list every day, and then I take satisfaction when I cross it off. I'm okay, I got that done. I'm moving on. Make sure you fill in assignment due dates when you learn them, because especially doing distance ed, you guys, this is really important because you kind of have to manage your own time. Okay. Learn backward planning. So that is, if you write a due date in your planner, go back a day and give yourself a reminder that it's due. So for example, if you know you have to take a test soon, give a reminder the day before so you can remember to study it, especially in distance ed. Put everything in your planner. If you have a meeting or anything like that, put it in there so that you know what you need to get done and how long you have to do it in. So use flags. You can buy sticky notes. I use ribbons to mark my pages. Don't get rid of old pages, because sometimes you can go back and look at things that you've done. Congratulate yourself ahead of time. If you got a big project done before it was due, good job for you. Do something to reward yourself. Appreciate that you did something good. So things that you should include in your planner. And you guys are going to have an assignment where you're going to have to figure out what you're going to do for the next few days. Okay, so that's part of this class, is learning to be organized. Okay, so regular blocks of homework time. So most of you, I think, are using the same class schedule to get your work done, which is a good idea because then you stay organized. Make sure you have due dates and test dates. I know some classes are giving tests in Ingenuity and some classes are giving tests like through Google Classroom. So you need to pay attention to when those due dates are. Write down if you have things that are going on. I guess none of us are going to dances, parties, or celebrations right now because we're supposed to stay home and isolate. But you can plan all your things in there. If you prefer a paper planner, this is a little short video that goes over how to use a paper planner. Let's see if it's going to play. Nope, it's going to be too, so I'm going to have you guys go on and look at that on your own because it won't play over the meeting. It'll bog down. December is a really great time to get a planner. So if you don't have a planner right now, having one going into the new year might be a good idea, especially if you're someone you know that paper is much better than the computer version. This video gives you guys directions on how to use Google Calendar. And so you can put the assignments in there, but I can't play it to you on this because it bogs down. And so it's not going to play. And then I made a video on how to use the Google Calendar and gave you some things, and I will post that too so that you can use that. Let me stop sharing this.